Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Football Club of Riverside. I'm your host, and my name is Yemi. Today, I'm making a video which I entitled "Marriage." Marriage, the benefit of marriage, and why you need to get married. I know in today's society, I've heard people talk about they don't want to get married because it might end in divorce and they will lose all their stuff. But that's not the purpose of marriage. So today, I'm gonna look at the origin of marriage, what marriage is supposed to be, and what marriage still is. So, marriage is ordained by God. It's an institution put in place. It's the best institution for a man and a woman to come together, grow together, get to learn about one another, and raise a family. So, children are a benefit, offspring of marriage. So, marriage, a working definition is a good idea to start with. So, marriage is always been seen amongst Christians as in holy matrimony as a divine blessing or divine blessed lifelong monogamous union between a man and a woman, where we as individuals, when we go to the shop and we buy something, we follow the manufacturer's instruction. If you don't follow manufacturer's instruction, you cannot complain later on and say, well, this thing doesn't work. Well, marriage is no exception. God invented marriage when God put Adam in the garden. God looked at Adam and said, it is not good for the man to be alone. So God created Eve, and that's the very first recorded marriage in all of history that we're aware of. So, and the emphasis there is God put Adam in the garden with the instruction to work. That's why we get all this notion that the man goes to work. And the purpose of the woman, Eve, his wife, is to help the man. So that's why women, from time immemorial, women has always got the added privilege of staying at home while the man goes to work. It's all a biblical concept. If you take God out of the picture, then you end up with, why is the man going to work when the woman's staying at home? The man goes to work, he faces the demons, he makes the money, he comes back home, he protects his wife and the children, and with that money that he earns, he comes back and provides for them. It's a biblical concept. There's no other way you can see it. It's a biblical concept. So, if marriage is ordained by God, and we know God gave good gifts, so what are the benefits of marriage? What is the gift of marriage? And there's three things primarily that marriage seeks to achieve, and one of them is companionship. God looked at Adam, and God himself looked at Adam and said, it is not good for the man to be alone. So marriage, one of the benefits of marriage, or the purpose of marriage, is that the man is not alone. And when we look at all the stats, married men live longer, married men avoid hospitals because they're happy, they're healthy, and married men are a blessing to their community and society, whichever we want to look at. And so when we look at the benefit of marriage, of companionship, and also there's the added bonus of passion. Men are passionate. That's why we support football clubs. And even when the football club is not doing well, which other business do you know of that's got regular customer, even when the service is poor? You will never get better than football supporters. Passionate individual supports a team even when all the players, over the course of 10-year period, all the players have changed, the managers change, the owner of the clubs change. The supporters are still there, they still go out, they still pay the money, they still support the team. If the team wins, they're happy. If the team draws, they're indifferent. If the team loses, they're ignited. Ignited? No. The, when the team loses, they're devastated because you want your team to win. That's how marriage is. So the passion that we got for things, it's the same passion that we bring into this union between a man and a woman. Passion. And then the purpose. Marriage is about companionship and intimacy. It is not good for the man to be alone. So God gave him a helper, or a helpmeet, as the Bible puts it. and the helper is there to help him. She's not there to stress him. She's not there to control him. She's not there to point out what he's doing wrong. She's there to help. And when you're there to help, you bring your positive ideas and constructive criticism to the table, but by and large, you support and follow the leadership of the man. I know that's one word that most people don't hear these days, but that is how marriage is intended to be. That's what marriage is supposed to be. So every time we talk about marriage, people are quick to point, what about marriages where there is abuse? What about marriages where the man is not doing what he's supposed to do? Abandonment. What about marriages where the children are not treated well? The sad reality is it's not a race to the bottom. Marriages is not about the exception. The normal marriages in this country, normal marriages between a man and a woman, is the man supports his wife and protects his wife, and his wife is there for him, and they raise the children together. Normal marriages functions properly. Normal marriages, there's no abuse. Normal marriages is not about control. The majority of marriages in this country thrive and build the nation. So we can't talk about marriages and then we're going on about the exception to the rules. In everything in life, there will be exception. Now, as you can tell from this video, that I am a champion of marriage. I support marriage wholeheartedly. If your first marriage didn't work, you go for the second one that didn't work either. You've discovered 2 ways of how not to do it. So I would not advise you to give up. There's always someone out there for you. Sometimes we're too much in a hurry. Sometimes our judgment get clouded, and sometimes we follow wrong or bad advice, and that leads us down a rabbit hole. But the thing is, even with the best will in the world, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So if you're married before and now you're divorced, or you look at all the marriages around you and you're not impressed by what you've seen, that does not stop you from getting married. That does not mean your marriage is going to be the same. You should not cheat yourself out of the opportunity to have a lasting and happy and joyous marriage just because you look around you and you can't see anything that you can compare or that you're happy about in marriage. I know a lot of people that are married. I know people that have been married for over 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, even 30 years. Yes, marriages come with struggle. And as the man, you will have to make the most sacrifices. That's how marriage works. When God put Adam in the garden and Adam begins to work, Adam was about his purpose. Adam make all the sacrifices that needs to be made. Then God looked at Adam and said, he needs help, and provide him a wife. So what are the benefits? What are the benefits of marriage? Like I said at the beginning, marriage, one of the benefits is companionship or lack of loneliness. By yourself, it's easy to drift into loneliness or to feel like there's no one there for you and you're just doing all the work by yourself. But if you look at some of my previous video, I've said no man is an island. No man is an island. There's no such thing as self-made. There's no such thing as I did it by myself, I did it all along. There is no such thing. You are surrounded by a community of people, and a community help each other. So, and the beauty of marriage is not just you and your wife and you go and live this wonderful, happy ever after. That's in the movies. In the real world, it's your family and your wife's family come together. Your wife's family gains you, and your family gains your wife. You do life together as a family. But as the popular saying goes over here, it takes a village to raise an African child, and that is true. Same with marriage. So one benefit is companionship. I'm not going to make Bible references, because we know churches, right from the beginning of time, churches were the biggest advocate, or used to be the biggest advocates for marriage. Now, churches are trying to be PC, politically correct, and The problem with trying to be PC is you lose your core value, and the core value of every church, after preaching the gospel, is bringing people together to honor God. Marriage, another benefit of marriage is sexual intimacy. Sex is the glue that secure or that pins husband and wife together. If you watch some of my video, you'll hear me say, bottom line, if you're not married, you should be having sex, because marriage, sex is for married couple, as God intended. Then another benefit is procreation. Marriage presents the most secure, most established, time-tested union between a man and a woman to raise children. That is the norm. Marriage, one of the benefits of marriage as well is love and respect. There is no other union where that's legally binding, spiritually binding, where a man and a woman is most loved. I'm not talking about exception. Yes, you know someone that got married because the guy's got money, or he got married because the woman comes from a rich family. Those are exceptions. Most normal people get married for the right reason: love and respect, for procreation, sexual intimacy, and companionship. Non-marriages, that's how they function. And then one of the beauty of marriage is it refines our character. This is why I would say, even if you don't agree with all the other points I've made, I think everyone should get married, for the simple reason that marriage will bring out three things in you. That's the pride, the selfishness, and unforgiveness. Because by yourself, you can come up with ideologies that holds no water, but when you get someone else there that's going to hold you accountable, then you see how quick all those ideologies that you hold on to that you thought were a good idea, you see how quick they are not such a good idea. Marriage brings us closer to God. If you've been married, you will know that when things are going bad and you've got a wife and a couple of kids that are relying on you, you're going to find your way to God. You're going to have to call on a higher being, someone out there that you... So I know some people don't believe God exists, but when trouble comes, you will have to call on God. You need a supreme power outside of you to help you. And lastly, marriage helps you to pray. Yes, when you get married, you will learn how to pray, because the dynamics between men and women are so different that you just need help. And then marriage also helps you to make friends, because when you get married, you need married friends that have been through what you're going through, or are exactly at the same point where you are, where they can support you and help you with where you are or what you're going through, and then you do the same for other families or for other marriages. So, in closing, marriage is a beautiful thing. Marriage is a wonderful thing. I personally think everyone should get married. And like I said, marriage is between a man and a woman in front of witnesses as ordained by God. That is marriage. So go out there, think about it very carefully. Don't just pick anyone that's available because they look good. That's not enough. You have to do your due diligence, find this person, have other people in her family and your family to vet the both of you to make sure that this journey that you're about to go on is going to be a long and lasting one. Because what you don't want is, we've had too many divorces already. I'm going to make a video about divorce, and divorce is painful, and we're going to tell you how, or the ways that you can minimize that risk, or you can deal with divorce when it happens. But in marriage, find yourself a woman or a man, do your due diligence, pray. You need prayer, because I've often believed that when you go on a date and you meet someone, your very first date, you're not meeting that person, you're meeting their representative. And The thing about PR is people look good and sharp and they say the right words when you meet them for the first time. But as you begin to meet them and know them, you get to see the real person. And that's when all the red flags, the pros and cons of who they are, comes to the forefront, and then you have to decide, does the pro outweigh the con, or does the con outweigh the pro? Then you make an informed decision. But prior to that, you can't just meet someone and say, oh, she looks good, I'll marry her, and then we'll just see how that goes. No, that's not going to work. So think about the benefit of marriage, and stop thinking about, oh, if it doesn't go well, I will lose this and I'll lose that. Think about when it goes well. When it goes well, think about the companionship, the sexual intimacy, the procreation, support, love, and respect. Think about the character building, your character being refined, or the pride, the selfishness, the unforgiveness. Someone is coming into your life now, and they will push you to the limit where you will have to change. And that change will make you a better man or a better woman. So go out there, find yourself a partner, and get married. Don't just say it's only paper, do the right thing, get legally married, and God will bless that union. So that's all I've got for you today. Go out there, get married, and stay married. Stay blessed.